start recording. Once you start backtesting, you will definitely know which one suits you best. Okay, so the model itself. This one, I'll do go for a second. What will you need? First of all, you need TradingView for this model. That's the first thing. Second thing that you need is actually CMA data. So that's not for free. That's something I can't give you guys. That's something you will have to pay for yourself. You need real data. Without real data, it's not possible to trade this model. So that's the only thing that's a little bit downside on this model. You actually need some investments on yourself to be able to do this. This costs, I believe, $8 a month or something like that, but you'll need that data to be able to see it, otherwise it's not possible. You need to be on Nasdaq, so on NNQ1, not on the minis, so E-mini futures. So this is actually the thing that you need. And what do you need extra is trading sessions. So that's the indicator we actually need. So if you go to here, indicators, you press it, you search trading session, you mark this one on favorites, and you will always get it. So then it will be in your favorites. You can always look for it here then. So this one would be here. You press it, click left on it, and it will be appeared. For the settings, we need settings on this one. So I'll open it for a second. If you want to do this now directly, I'll leave some space and some time in it so that you can actually add these sessions already. If you have no paid TradingView yet, that's okay. You can do this afterwards too. So what did I do? Just show sessions names, draw sessions, open and close lines, tick it. All these were thinked on. I found it way too much noise on my screen, so I just take it all off. I don't like to see too much. So Tokyo session, I take it from 7 to 3. So you can see they are all lined up to each other, so they fill up each other. Otherwise sometimes they do not fill completely to each other. If you start, you will see there will be gaps. So I changed it a bit so that actually fluidly go from one session to the next. The second session is European London, so that's from 7 to 1 that I take it. And then the New York session, we take it from 8 to 5. So you will need to put in this in your trading session to make sure that everything is inputted correctly. So the different thing is, I'm not sure it's EST, because look, it's 7 to 3, 7 to 1 and 8 to 5. So I think it's in the session itself that it's been put into it. I'll put it for a second on New York time zone, so I'll actually go over it. So London session goes from 2 to 7:45, so that means 8 actually. So I'll write it down here too. So if you are on New York time session, so UTC -4 -4. So I know most people use this time zone. London goes from 2 to 8. New York goes from 8 to 4:45, so 5 o'clock. So NY goes from, again, 08. So this is actually just normal sessions time. So again, it's UTC 4. if something wouldn't measure up with the thing, but I believe if you take the same, you can just put the same inputs like I did. So that would be actually 17. So this should be on your screen. If it's not that way, change it. And then Asia, I take it from 6 to 1. Yeah, actually to 2, but yeah, 145. Just make sure they don't overlap each other. So normally if you put 2 into it, so it's on the screen, I'll open my trading session again. So if you're on a different movement, if you put these in, you can perfectly be fine. So again, Tokyo session from 7 to 3, London session from 7 to 1, and the third session, New York, from 8 to 5 in the afternoon. If you put this in, you will have the same like I have. So I go over a few trades, a few that work, a few that don't work, so that you actually see it's happening for real. So first of all, I go over the one that I took yesterday, actually, immediately after that sweep. The one that we took today, you actually seen it take live with us, so actually you can see that it worked. Yesterday I took this one after London, so this is London. The colors doesn't actually mean anything, you just need to know that they are different sessions. So if you're in TradingView and you have a paying thing, what do you need to do to reduce screen time? First of all, if you go to the right side here, you see a plus coming up. If you press that, you can actually add an alarm to it. So by adding it, you will see there will come a line here. This line is very much needed if you want to reduce screen time. If you put TradingView on your phone, you will actually get immediately a measurement. So once this has hit, my computer or my phone says to me sends a message to me. Now actually I was behind the screen at that point, because in 1-2 minutes being here, that would be almost impossible, but yeah. It ends at 2, so that means it is possible it happens at 2 o'clock in the afternoon for me. What did I do? After the sweep, I was looking for an inversion, so this actually completely ate up these two candles. So I was actually looking for an entry. After that, I was looking for a value gap inside these gaps. So actually this one created immediately a 1 minute for value gap. This is on the 1 minute, I'll show it in a minute on the 15 minute too, how to do it. So after this, we actually had a sign where we could enter it. Where do we enter it? Immediately when it taps that 1 minute for value gap. We don't wait, we don't look after a continuation, we immediately do this. The reason why is it reduces the amount of upper points that we give, and this means that we actually have a lot more profit. Now the next thing is, where do we take it? So this was the movement up. Actually, if it continues, that should be your target, the low of this. What do I do to make sure that we take profits is actually take the last for value gap off of it. If you take the last for value gap off of it, that was a 3.5 from exactly where we'd enter it. If you zoom out in time, you could actually see that was actually these candles were, and that there were equal lows here, so you could actually target these equal lows too if you wanted to. You didn't have to, because just that one candle low would have been already a 3R and less than 45 minutes. I'll go back over it. Where was it? Here. Now, if you're testing this, there is another thing that you may do, and that's adding. I'll immediately tell you how to add. So where do we add? So if we have downfalling candles, every new fair value gap created out of it, you can take an adding position. So this would be in your adding position. And how do we add? So we first start with a full R. So entry 1, full R, second entry, a half R. Reason why is we only risk then a maximum of a half R if it comes back up. So we should have shorted again immediately on the entry. The stops, if it created one fair value gap out of it, you see in here there was one more fair value gap created, then we can put it at the previous high. If there was no fair value gap created before or after it already, you should have taken it immediately back to the same height. So this would have been a smaller trade. Targets always the same. Don't extend it, keep it at the same level. If this is only a half R in, that means at this point we are at 1.5 R risk. So immediately then, after the next fair value gap is created, you may put it at that high. You will wait until we have at least one fair value gap in between, because now we have one, the second was the entry, we could put it here. If there are two in between, it's even better. The reason why is we're trading the 1 minute on this one, and it's actually does or dare to come back up to fill up the higher fair value gaps. But after, it actually should continue, it should actually not come back up here. So this is the second entry that we could have taken. If we watch closely, there was actually a third one, I believe. No, here there was a small one that was created out of it. What was it? Where was it? I've seen a third one, I'm not sure exactly what it was. I only entered 2 on this one because that was enough for me. No, I don't think I see another one. No more fair value gaps created out of it. Gaps don't count. You actually need an FVG, no gaps. So this was actually 2 trades that we could have taken, one immediately. So this one does go here, the first one stop was at the high. Again, the reason why you may put that one here is because there is one in between. If there is no fair value gap left in between, you need to take it to the previous high. So then you are at a small time at a 1.5 R risk. But if you have taken this to that low here, that would have been a 3.5 with an extra 1 R added to it in the same trades. Immediately that we fall lower, you can see once we break this, you can put stops lower, of course. Here we did create a new fair value gap. So this place would actually be the place where you could put your stops at BE here. Not before, wait until you see that one created again. And then you can take it to where you can see actually liquidity. This is something I can teach halfly, but you actually need to learn this for yourself too, how this actually looks. I can teach you where liquidity is and where time-based liquidity is and where equal lows are, where we could take it to, but it's better that you actually can see it for yourself. This way, this is why I'm backtesting, letting you this backtesting, so that you zoom out and actually see where liquidity is, because this is one of the most important things that you actually need to know in trading. I'll have a full course over how to see liquidity, but I want to let you test it first for yourself. So the reason why we could have taken it all the way to here was there was a fair value gap here, there was a 1 hour fair value gap there too, I believe, if I was correctly. Yeah. So that was that 1 hour fair value gap that we tapped. So we could have taken it all the way to here. And that was this small trade at 1 minute that was in here. So that would have been the max target that I would have taken it. The reason why is we're in an uptrend and we're trading counter trend. So if we're trading against the major movement, it's not so smart to take it all the way lower. Especially it was before market open, before news, so there was a lot of volatility coming actually into the market afterwards. So this is why I took small trades. I posted this in Discord. Now a model that actually did not work. You do need to see this one too. I found it very important. This one I took live yesterday too on stream. I wanted to show you that after a sweep of that session low, there is a possibility that we can have a new entry here to continue higher. But this model did not work, and we gave about a half hour to the market. So here was the sweep. So in backtesting you will see that it works, but not always. It's the same. It has X amount of percentage of profit making and some not. So these three candles actually formed a nice upper movement, change in state. This was the 1 minute per value gap, again created out of it. What do? We should have longed off of this one. Immediately when it tapped, stops at the low. And then actually take it to that, at least to the previous high. I actually wanted to take it to these equal highs here, so that was my first target. After this we actually created a new fair value gap. That was this one, a very small one, but it counts. Even the smallest one counts. So this was a very minuscule fair value gap. If you can't see them for yourself, there is also an indicator for this. So I actually did not enter on this one because while we were trading I didn't see it. We did enter another one. I know we entered twice. So we entered here first of all. Did we enter this one? Somebody's in chat, maybe you guys still remember, because I'm not sure we took this one or was the next one. I believe it was the next one. I believe it was actually this one that we took. So it tapped again, we entered one more time, again to the same height, and I said we should not come back to this low, because this was actually the last sweep of this fair value gap. After creating a new one, it should not come back. So we reduced risk by putting our stops here, and in total that was about a half hour that we gave to the market, because the market changed state, said no way, I still want lower. And this is actually how we reduced our risk for a full hour or 1.5 hour to actually a half hour risk that we put into it. If you are not in profit yet with the first trade, your next trade until that stop must together be a half hour, not more than it. So again, if this is a full hour in it and we are shorting this one again, we are longing this one again. This will all be in the PDF that I'm making. So, and to that stop, this together combined, these stops combined cannot be more than a half hour, because the market should rally here. And actually if we are entered it with a full hour here already, that's 1.8, and this is an extra 0.3 maybe that we entered, and the total that would have been 0.3 divided by 2 is 0.8, 0.9, something like that you would have made of here. So post 1.8, so that means that you would have made 2.5, but the market didn't, decided to continue. It actually decided to continue lower, and this is something that you can see on a higher time frame. On the lower time frames you can't. You just need to test out where time-based liquidity is. I did not test this one more because you see there was actually a huge movement lower. Let's take a look if time-based sweep here would have done anything. I recommend if it's after 5, you should not be doing it anymore, because then you are actually over trading way too much time. So this was the sweep. You can see there was no upward candles at all, no for value gaps. It kept falling. Maybe no, this was the inversion, so no inversion. So no change of state. This would have been your first movement back up. Here you should have a value gap for this one. We did tap this one. This one got stopped out, previous day low. But there is a big possibility that you actually, if you took this first fair value gap, if you do it on the 1 minute, try always to take the first one, not the second one. You can trade that part, but it will be much more profitable if you take the first one. You will see this yourself in the backtesting. Again, immediately when it taps that low at the high, even if you took it to the previous high, that was this one, that would have worked on this one, this wick here. That would have been 2.8. Again, after a session sweep, again the same movement actually, nothing changed. So we waited in a state of delivery change, so it actually there would have been in these candles. Here was our high, it was taken out, first fair value gap. I know this will look very strange to trade in because we are trading downwards and we want to have this entry. So this is something that you need to be trusted with, and that is why I want you to backtest it, because otherwise you'll never be able to see that movement. Again, next entry that you could have taken up was fair value gap created. That would have been the entry. Stopped at this low. This is the first fair value gap. No, stop still at the same. Target, same height. After you create it, please test it also with that adding. So again, new fair value gap create. Again, a new entry. This will make you so profitable, people. So then stops should be here all together. There's one fair value gap in between, so it should not return to this one. This altogether should only be a half hour, so it will be a smaller trade that you enter it, but that means that your entry stays low. After the next fair value gap is created, this is this one. You can put your stops all the way to here because there's one in between. Next. So this reduces immediately a lot of risk because this is at entry. This is above entry already, so this is a profit. And that one also comes to here, so this is less than, minus a little bit. So actually if it comes back, you're already in profit. If it does tap you out completely to the high, you actually had 3 entries. You can take a fourth if you want to, but I would leave it with 3. I tested it, 3 is like a very good amount. Do you understand this model? If not, please ask a question now, so that I can explain it again. So it's only after a sweep of a time-based session we need an inversion, so that means that we need the down candles to be filled up again. We need a fair value gap. We need an entry on that fair value gap. If you take the 1 minute, always take the lowest. If it doesn't come, that means that you will have a next opportunity. And then take it to the previous high. That's it. Not all the way to the top, previous high. On a 1 minute based. This will be recorded so you can watch it again. Now, you can see it does not work because this did work, half our risk. This did work, and that would have gave you an extra. So half hour given up that day, and you would have regained. I'll even measure this, how much this would have gotten out of it. So that would have been 2. Altogether, I believe that would be 3.5, maybe a 4 hour. So half hour risk given, 4 hour return. The amount of percentage this actually works is about 45 to 50%. So that means 1 out of 2 will not work. So this is why we gave the mindset lesson at the beginning, because you will need it if you want to trade this. It is counterintuitive, so everybody would, not a lot of persons would enter this on this level when it comes back to your entry model. But because we tested, we have patient. So after this actually left, remember, you should have been patient for 55 minutes. So even if it looks like it wanted to go higher, we had to be patient for 55 minutes to see our entry. And when it comes, then you have to take it. if you didn't take it and it moved away again, please don't take it then. It's good to see that it works, but don't trade into this level then. Okay, it is a second entry, but don't do it. You need to trust your own model that it works and then immediately enter it. Now for the 15 minutes, for the 15 minutes I'll show you the second model that I have. It's actually the same, but just on a higher time frame. Some people love it more this way. Where do I see it? Okay, here. So sweep time based. What do we need? A candle that closes above the last down candle. So this was the sweep actually, and the first candle is actually this one. In this candle, I want to see if we have a 5 minute for value gap. What was it, 15 minutes exactly? Oh, wait. This was actually that 15 minute. So we should find a 5 minute for value gap then to enter it. There was one in here, we did not get tapped, so there would be no entry model here. You would have missed this one. Was gonna be a nice move, but that's it. So you need then a 5 minute FVG here. This needs to be tapped and that's your entry model. Stops at a low. But if we don't have it, if it doesn't get tapped, that's it. You don't have that entry model. So the 1 minute has more entry models, but the 5 minute or the 15 minute actually is more profitable way in the amount of times it goes correctly. So I mean, if the first one gives you 50%, this one gives you 70% win rate. So it's much bigger, the win rate. So this one did not work. Let's take another one, because we didn't have an entry. It would have worked, so you can see it actually way higher. So for this one, we take it to sessions highs or even next session high. We don't look at the previous high, because at the 15 minutes this was already swept. We actually take it to at least session highs, so that would have been, if you had that entry, a 1.63. Again, same, if you have a next 5 minutes being created out of it, we could get a fair value gap again. That's again the new entry, but actually I didn't see any of it. Oh, just here we have one more per value gap on the 5 minute base. That was this one. So this could have been your entry. Stop at the last sweep, so this would have been your stop. So if this was a correct entry, then this one would have been your second. Same target, of course, to the sessions high. That would be a 1.2. Again, if you trade a full hour, again a half hour, the next one. It reduces the amount of upwards movement, because this was already quite some time that you were in this trade. So you can see if this one should have worked, you were in this trade at least for 2 hours and a bit. The other one was done in like 50 minutes. So it's a bit screen time difference, and you need to figure out which one works for you. So again, the 15 minutes only works when you have a 15 minute movement in change of state, and then you need a 5 minute entry. So let me take a look if I can find one actually that worked. Let me take just a random one. It's even better. So the first inversion is actually this one. This one did not take out everything. So this would have been the first inversion that we have. Closed change of state. So this candle we should look at. See if it gives something. Where was it? Oh, here it was. So again, that was our 15-minute going down. We did have a fair value gap, so this would have been your entry. No, wait, oh, this would have been your entry. This is also 5 minutes after a change of state, so you could have you can choose here. If you have two of them, pick the one that suits you best. This is why I say, I can give you an entry model, but it still needs to fit you if you want to do this live for yourself. So that would have been a short to where session lows or previous session low. What did it do? It actually filled the session low. So that would have been, I can't even see how much it was. That would have been a 12R, so that would have been a huge trade if you took this. If you took it one lower and you took it just to this session low, that would have been a 2R. If you had more confidence and taken it to all the session low, that would have been a 5. So it's a big difference where you put your entry, but where you enter it, it doesn't matter. If it's valid and it continues, would have been great. If we tried this on a 1 minute, this would have been a not profitable trade, that would have been a not profitable trade, and this would have been the correct one. So on the 15 minutes you can see that it reduces the amount of times you need to do an entry. On the 1 minute it actually increases, but the profit on the 1 minute would have been, your entry would be here somewhere, stop at the high, and if you take it to that, that would be like a 20R or something. So you have huge art collections, but it will have some mindsets set to it. Does everybody understand this model now? If not, please give me a question so I can explain it in detail again. It's like this, it will actually be also in the PDF. So if you don't understand it, please say why and what. Because it's or this model that you will have to backtest, or the 1 minute, the 15 minute. Make a choice and stick to it. Do one session only, so you can start from 2 o'clock. In the afternoon you can do the morning session, so that's when we start actually in London. Okay, downwards again, we swept, we had to be patient, and when the move went back up, we actually had that entry model. I gotta show you this one actually. This was 24th. So the 24th, that was here. This was that sweep. This was the last down candle, the inverted. Here we should have had an entry model. We got stopped out probably on this one, last one tick, and then we had the move. So this one would not have worked. And I believe on the 1 minute same. 29th, 24th, I meet 25, 24. Actually, I know this trade. I actually took this. I got stopped out the first one on the 1 minute. The second one was a good entry. So I entered the first time. I know it was somewhere in this. Here, that entry on the 1 minute. I put my stop at the low. I got stopped here. I did it twice, this one. So I re-entered it up here. Not following fully the model, but I'm gonna be honest, how I took this one, I was still testing this live at that point. I did not take it to the high. I actually wanted to take it to session high. That was here. It did not happen. So we stopped actually at the previous high. So we actually did stop here. I got stopped in the way back down at BE. And this you can see as one fair value gap, because they all fit together. I re-entered it actually when it came down to it, put the stop again at the low, and then I did take it to that high. And then I stopped. So this was a second entry. This one did work. So first one did not work, we got stopped. Second one I got back at BE because I did not fully follow the rules. So this was the rule. Enter it on the first fair value gaps that have been created. If they all follow each other immediately, you can pick one. Okay, so this is a bit discretionary how you enter it. I would prefer the lowest one, but this would not have got filled. And again, after this move, it took about an hour and a half, I believe, that you were in the trade. 2 hours. So after 2 hours, actually after moving this, how you can actually then make sure that you are there again, or you can set a limit order, or you can put an alarm again onto it. You will need these alarms, so they signify you that you don't need to sit 2 hours after the screen, of course, because otherwise, after 2 hours watching this until it hits, it will be mindset related that you actually need to be there constantly. It's not easy. Again, other way down, we swept, we came back, we did not create it up. This was completely filled. So for value gaps 1, 2 create, so you could have entered here or here. I did enter this one here. That was the move. I wanted to take it to session high. The last candle upwards is actually this one, or this one would have been great too. And that session sweep, we came back. I waited, I had this one down, and after it almost stopped me out here at this low, we came back up and I closed the trade at this high. So I took on this one, that was a long position I took. That was my entry here, stop at this low, and back to that high here. So that was a 1.9, 1.2. Very fast trade, but this was an opening. So, and actually it was because I did not see this fair value gap when I was starting. I actually only saw this one. So it will depend on humanly to how you act on it. So if nobody has a question about this, this is recorded, so I'll put it online and right now. So it will be until YouTube loads it up. So long it will not be online, of course. So I go again over everything that you actually will need. So needs for this is TradingView, second one is you need to be on NQ, so Nasdaq 100 E-mini. You need real data. For back testing you don't, so if you back test this you don't need real data, so you need real data. The only thing is this is year based payment and that's this monthly based payment, so I can't skip that. That's something you will have to invest in yourself if you want to trade this model. You need indicator, and that is trading session. And then you pick if you take a 15-minute entry or a 5-minute entry or a 1-minute entry. So the 15 minutes is wait or be patient until the market takes liquidity, takes time-based liquidity. 15 minutes. Actually, this is SHOS, they call it, if you want to actually know the correct word. I believe it's like this. That's change of state of delivery, change of state of character. People always make new words out of it. So 15 minutes change of state. I prefer to make it easy. Change of state. This is mean change of the way the market moves. You need a 5-minute FVG in the 15-minute candle. You enter on the wick for retracement to that fair value gap. And stops at the sweep high. So actually the high of that thing. This is actually the same for 1 minute, but then just a 1 minute change of state and a fair value gap created out of it. That's it. So it was about 20 minutes in stream, so about an hour now that I've been for teaching you this. If you have any questions and you don't want to put it in chat, send it directly to me. It's okay too. I'll answer them directly. I understand that not everybody wants to talk openly about everything. I'm okay with that. So just ask the questions. Do know if you do ask it openly, it may help other people too. So some people have the same questions like you do, and some people are not always just openly talking to everybody. That's okay. So just ask them. They will help others too. So remember, you're not the only one that has the same question. We're actually all together most of the times. We all have the same question. And it helps other people that are less chatful also to grow faster. Because sometimes they don't dare to ask. And you need to ask here. I cannot help you if you don't ask questions. So with this roundup, I've shown you a few times this is recorded, so you can rewatch it maybe multiple times, maybe when you are entering it too, so that you can see that you enter exactly at the same time. On Tradezella. So if you take Tradezella, use the word, like I said, Casper 2024, it's a free month, so you can actually do it a month for free. You should have more than time enough to do this in a month.
Voor mijn computer brengen. Voor nog één van 66k.
Voor wat?
Voor nog eentje van 66k.
Dat ga je nu. Ik ben nog bezig aan het lesgeven. Yeah, sorry, my kid just asked me something. So I'm still a father, so I still need to answer. She wanted to watch something on the computer, so I was at it. But if nobody has a question at this point, I'm gonna round this one off. It will be also added to the right side. So I didn't see any questions come up, so we're still here with 5. I'll close this one for a second, open different. So everything will be in replay lessons, so it will be here on the right, on the left side. Make sure that you can see this. If you can't, let me know. I just created it. Sometimes I do my best to organize everything correctly in Discord, but it's still new and I'm still learning too. So I learn along the way while I'm doing it. And I I got a great book beside me that helps me too on it. So this will be it for that session. I hope you learned something. If you did not and you don't understand it, please send me something that I know that it's correctly, that you understand it, because if you can't, you can backtest it. For the rest, I wish you a very great day. I will be online again around 2:30. It depends when we got the afternoon trading session. For the rest, I wish you a very great morning, left of afternoon or night. It depends on what time zone you're in, of course. See you all back at least at Thursday together, and otherwise on the streams, of course, when I'm trading live with you. Enjoy.
Mag ik vragen waarom dat je dat niet op de jongen doet?
Omdat ik niet kan recorden op de mijn. Ik ben het scherm aan het opnemen ook.